Gabriel Marquette, President of Eurogia Plus. We're here at the European Business Summit in Brussels. Firstly, could you tell us a little about Eurogia Plus? What's your organisation and what's your role here?
So Eurogia Plus is the EUREKA cluster, for EUREKA being the intergovernmental initiative for market-oriented and industry-driven projects, developing innovation, new technologies, etc. And we are in charge of the EUREKA cluster for energy. The single one. The other clusters are usually for microelectronics, telecommunications, etc. But we are the one for energy. And the specificity of our cluster is the fact that it is covering all the energy mix. We are very proud of that. The fact that we have been capable to put within one unique program everything which is dealing with the production of energy. And what we intend is to produce new technologies which are needed to produce safe, clean, affordable energies. Starting from conventional energies, fossil fuels, to make them cleaner and safer, and also moving to renewable energies, especially in the scope to make them more industrial. And the fantastic objective that we are reaching is the fact that we are making those people working together. The two industry sectors are now grouped in this specific perspective.
I see. Now, bearing in mind the situation politically that we're in, globally and the EU, where both innovation, low energy and climate change are all very important subjects, you must be a very popular guy in EUREKA at the moment.
I hope I would, but anyway, this is very, very important. You're absolutely right, especially at the time where we have Copenhagen fiasco, and what we hope that Cancun will be a fantastic major step, Bonn in between. So yes, Eurogia Plus is really willing to bring its small break in this wall in fighting climate change and providing the necessary technologies in this perspective that I mentioned before, producing energy from anywhere.
Okay, so let's speak a little about the realities of things like innovation policy. At the moment, EU 2020, we've got lots of talk going on about, for example, 3% budgets of GDP relating to innovation. Do you think it's likely that we'll ever get to 3% of GDP in Europe?
This is a very serious question, because we know that the Lisbon strategy has not reached its goal, far from it, and we know that what has been one of the major hurdles is the fact that to reach that target of 3%, 1% will come and has come already from the public sector, but 1 or 2% which are missing, must come from the private sector. And that's where really we speak about the full interest of public-private partnership as a reality and not only a theory, to make each public euro being beneficiary to attract 2 private euros. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's a reality that we try, thanks to this kind of program, to put in perspective, because also what is of importance, thanks to EUREKA, is the fact that the projects we are launching are industry-driven and market-oriented. So we are speaking about employment creations, of course, but also commercialization, and so we are not in the fundamental stage of research, but really the applied research level, and that's where we are very close to the business. And each project must have a real commercial perspective, and this reality is one of the major criteria which is taken into account in the selection process.
Okay, now thinking still about R&D, because obviously politically this is the big issue right now. The chairmanship of EUREKA was passed less than a week ago now to Israel. From the information I've seen, Israel is spending something like 4.9% of GDP on innovation and the infrastructure that's required. Somehow they've managed it, and somehow we in Europe haven't. What's the difference? What are they doing that we should be trying to do?
Maybe it's more a personal statement that I'm going to make, but the geopolitical reality of Israel makes them this fantastic country in terms of innovation and technological developments, force them to export directly what they have done. The critical mass that they have reached in terms of scientific background and technological capacity imposes to them to export to any places, Europe at first, but also all in the area, especially in Africa and even in Middle East. So that's it's more than a strategy. It's quite a philosophical approach in terms of if you want to survive in the future, in the economic future, you are really obliged to invest and invest in innovation. I think that what we have not been capable to do yet in Europe is the fact that we have not been capable to aggregate all the forces that we have between hands. The critical mass is there. We have a fantastic treasury in terms of manpower, in terms of scientific capacity, etc. We just don't know how to make those things, how to make the mayonnaise out of that. And that's where this kind of initiative, EUREKA, all the framework program, all the things, we can always, of course, complain about specific things, but they have the fantastic reality to exist, and they should be pushed more and more in front. And to finalize on this specific point, the investment has not to be done only on specific projects, but what is of the utmost importance is the investment in people. And typically for the Commission, the best program I know is typically the Marie Curie Fellowship Program, where typically we invest in the brains and we develop the capacity of the people to work together, cross borders, to learn about each other, to learn about the specificities and the excellencies which are existing everywhere, and that's where, for me, the future is relying really. And that's what I'm intending also to do within the program, even if it is a bit beyond EUREKA scope, but I'd like to organize a summer school for all the energy mix in order to group young talents, young people, because this is where the future is relying, to have those people speaking together between the renewable and the conventional energies, exchanging and maturing and progressing together.
Okay, Mr. Marquette, very interesting. Thank you for your time.